letter addressed to the people of Kedwen.
A letter? So?
It's your drivel, idiot.
Where'd you get that idea?
I know you. Not to mention you had the gall to quote me.
You're not the only Witcher in the world.
So, you admit it's yours?
Sure, it's mine. People have had enough of that pompous clown colluding with Nilfgaard. I decided I needed to open their eyes a little wider.
Any idea what that pompous clown's going to do when he finds out who's opening his people's eyes?
How would he find out? It could only come from you, and I assume, at least I hope, you won't rat me out.
They're going to kill you.
Nah.
Why did you poke your nose in this?
Henselt approached me to write a few panegyrics about him. You know, singing his praises. Can you imagine that? Me? Writing a political pamphlet? Who the hell does he think I am?
But that's exactly what this letter is.
Possibly. But it's for a good cause. Henselt's a prick.
Look at that, boys.
We need to talk.
What? No, hello, good morning. Pucker up and kiss my ass, nothing.
Hello.
Good morning, White Wolf. Will you take some tea? It's a fortifying beverage.
Some other time, maybe. You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth. I found Trott and a few other enthusiasts of the square coins.
Did you learn who leads them?
No.
Any survivors?
No.
Ah, you might at least have spared Trott. I'm sure he had secrets.
I'm afraid he took those with him.
There was a reward on the conspirators' heads. Do you wish to collect, or is it beneath your witcher's dignity?
I don't want any gold for this.
Why not?
You wouldn't understand.
What do you want, Witcher?
From what I can see, you and the men love your king.
He's like a father to us, really. Comes around from time to time, chats it up, pats you on the mug. Remembers our names, too, though you gots to earn that in battle. Been so distinguished 3 times already. Pride myself on it.
I'm sure it's a great honor for a humble soldier like yourself.
Last time it happened, we was on the march. Some peasant poisoned his well. A few of our lads died, many others got sick. I pacified that village. We hit them so hard, we even struck fear into our own boys. They went without a row for 2 days, and the king was very pleased. He came around, gave me a friendly punch in the gut, laughed and said, "You are one true son of a bitch. If you'd not been born among swine, you'd probably be king." That's how he is. Humane and all. He's really got a heart.
Did you participate in the battle?
I did, and I fought. But I'd rather not go into it.
The spirits of those who died in battle are now in combat on that field. They kill each other and change into nasty creatures called Draugrs. Aedirnians, Kedwenis, even your comrades. I want to help them, but I have to know what happened during the battle.
Oh, the plague. Listen then. The fighting started in the afternoon. The Dun Banner was first to attack. We were ambushed, cut off from our main unit and devastated. Bloody scouts and Sabrina Glevissig, who was supposed to mind the battlefield. By then, the battle was in full swing. Wherever you see those damned furrows, people fought there. The Aedirnian lines faltered a few times, but we couldn't crush them because of Seltkirk. Yes, we had the Visitor. They had Seltkirk of Gullet, the invincible White Knight, Edirn's finest swordsman. Wherever our forces gained the upper hand, he'd appear and reverse the fighting's course. Then, Vandegrift himself went into battle. He met Seltkirk in the middle of the melee. It was a battle of titans. In the end, the Visitor hacked Seltkirk and sliced the White Knight from his head to his balls. Then, death fell from the heavens. Lumps of burning soil flew through the air. The whole valley was on fire. Damned magic of a damned witch. I owe my life to Priest Crest, our chaplain. He led me out of the battle and went back for the others. He had a medallion that protected him against fire. He led everyone out, including the Edirnians. But the flames got him in the end.
You mentioned the priest.
A really good man. He was with us the whole time, during the march, in the barracks and in battle. Among common soldiers. Freya gave him a medallion to protect him from fire. I don't know how true that is, but he led me and many others to safety.
Who has this medallion?
King Henselt. I saw it once. I don't know how he got hold of it, but he definitely had it.
Were you at Brenna?
Ah, yes. Cut down more Black Ones there than anywhere else. The Redanians were in disarray on the left when we joined the battle. Same with the Temerian regiments in the middle. We arrived just in time. Menno Cohorn commanded the Nilfgaardians. He was some leader. Even we feared him like fire. But somehow we prevailed.
What happened to him afterwards?
He refused to flee, died like many others. Though no one knows who did it, and no one ever found his corpse.
Do I have this right? You served in the Dun Banner.
Did indeed. Henselt's never commanded a fiercer group of warriors, and he never will. If not for us, there'd have been no victory for the North at Brenner. We carried the day.
I didn't see the Dun Banner in the camp.
And you won't. The unit's no more. Ensign Eckhard Hennessy carried the standard into battle for the last time 3 years ago.
Glevisig's magic?
Worse. The Edirnian troops, the bastards. The Dun Banner, the pride of Kedwen, lost its standard and almost all its men. The Visitor refused to send us reinforcements when we were cut off. The Dun must prevail. It's been in worse shite than this. The Dun will be all right. 7 Edirnians to each one of us. We had no fucking hope. 200 men went into battle and less than 70 came back. But that's not all. Only a few survived to this day. The boys couldn't handle it. Suicide, firewater, fistek. A few became highwaymen. They ended up on the gallows or in ditches. Memories can also kill you, and soldiers don't always deal with them well.
I have to find that standard.
I heard it lies in the catacombs neath Vergen, alongside my mates. Hey, if you're thinking of going there, I ought to give you my beaver skin cap. That's its rightful place.
What happened before the battle?
We forded the Pontar on the 3rd day after the autumn equinox. The Edirnians were waiting for us, formed up in a long line at the foot of those hills. I remember the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersburg, Gullet. Knights, armoured infantry, peasants, the Vergen Dwarf Regiment, all save the king. They numbered more than 5,000. General Vandegrift, commander of the Kedwenis, had less than 4,000, including the elite Bearheads, armoured troops from Ard Caraig, and the famous White Foxes of the North. And ourselves, the Dun Banner, veterans of Brenner, hated by the Edirnians more than the plague. But above all, we had Vandegrift the Visitor. Maybe he was a bastard, but he knew war like nobody else.
Thanks, Civic. So long.
We've not dealt with a witcher before.
Spoken to the king yet?
Indeed, he was delighted to hear he can be cut from the curse.
Great, because I need the medallion of the priest known as Crest. I heard it's in Henselt's possession.
He'll give you nothing until you free him from the curse. Truthfully, I believe I understand him. You have a good chance of perishing when you confront the Draugrs.
Give me a break, Deathmold. The two of you are just afraid I'll leave this entire mess in your hands.
Ah, that is something I do not fear at all, for I know exactly why you are here. As for the king, you may curse him and scold him and call him a fool if you wish, though it's not something I would advise.
Learn anything new about the curse?
The mage on the other side of the fog is also probing the battlefield. A sorceress.
How do you know?
You shall know them by the fruit of their spells. Magic differs with the brain type that generates it. The female mind is simply laid out differently.
It could be Triss.
No, Witcher, it's someone far more powerful.
See you.
Not another fucking stone. The plague. Those bloody bees.
They're coming for you. He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes a pig's eye and puts it between his buttocks.
He does what?
Puts a pig's eye in his ass. The elder and the recruiter enter, and the mother says, "Son, they've come to take you to war." And he's standing with his back to them, his pants down. He spreads his cheeks and says, "I can see that."
Did they take him?
Not a chance.
Close the distance!
A super soldier serum, or what?
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us, and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see two possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pontar Valley. Temeria, Kedwen and Aedirn have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Aedirn are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
I wanted to thank you. That was a great fight.
The only great fights are those I win.
It's no dishonor to lose to a mutant created for swordsmanship.
If it wasn't a tournament but a battle, we wouldn't be speaking now.
You were better than all the knights of Kedwen put together.
You're very kind.
I'm sincere.
A rare trait. Perhaps I should take advantage of this opportunity.
Since we're being honest, I'd like to have some wine with you.
With pleasure.
I wasn't expecting you to agree. This was your chance to get back at me.
I have no need. In truth, I'm grateful to you.
Interesting.
I was sure you'd go easy on me. Then I'd have told you to bugger off. But since you took me seriously, I have some Toussaint wine in my tent. Could I tempt you?
Lead the way. I learned more about you from that duel than from all our conversations put together.
I'm curious. According to Geralt of Rivia, what is Vess like?
She's ambitious, honorable, and beautiful.
In that order?
What if I say the reverse?
If you think I don't like to hear compliments about my beauty, you're very wrong. I'm a soldier, and it pisses me off when I'm viewed as a pair of tits atop an arse. But I'm also a woman, and like every woman, I have my needs.
In that case, let's drink to your needs.
I fulfill my needs differently.
Then what do you want to drink to?
To us?
I didn't know there was an us.
Better to live a day as a king than a life as a beggar. First we'll drink the wine, then we'll go to bed.
Thanks, but I'm otherwise occupied.
You mean your work? Or Triss?
Both. Great wine, though.
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages in Baywood. Half the serfs knew beforehand and fled into the woods, but the rest were pressed into service. The Count says these are pansies, not soldiers, but we'll have to make do with them. We'll put them out front, let the cavalry run them over. Maybe it'll lose some momentum. So, the battle was on. Terrible losses on the left flank. They almost broke our ranks. Their serfs dropped their pikes and ran to the archers' corpses.
Did they start looting?
Listen, they picked up the bows and shot at the enemy. I tell you, each shot meant a dead man.
Ah, those were the serfs from Bywood.
Exactly. Poaching is in their blood.
Fen, keep dropping your guard like that and they'll beat your kisser to a pulp. Who do we have here?
Someone who's worried about your close combat skills.
We practice a few hours every day.
And here I thought practice makes perfect.
Really? Care to show us your skill then? White-haired one.
Why not? Who's willing?
I'll try. See if you're as strong in your arms as you are in your gob.
Let's see what my friend Vernon taught you.
Make some room!
Keep your guard up. That's more like it. Keep your guard up. That's more like it.
Got a feeling Fen won't remember much of that fight. With a few more surprises up our sleeves. How about you?
Why not? Who's willing?
Take me on. I fancy learning a few witcher's tricks.
Let's see what my friend Vernon taught you.
Make some room!
Close the distance. Keep your guard up. That's more like it.
Ha! He's still young. He'll learn. With a few more surprises up our sleeve.
Why not?
Run out of monsters to slay? Why are you fighting my men?
Just checking to see if you've taught them well.
And?
I'm amazed they're still standing.
You lackeys. Letting yourselves get thrown around like hay bales. Maybe you want to give me a try.
Show me what you got, my striped friend.
You win. Feels like I've been kicked by a mare.
Pleasure getting a few slugs in the mug from you, Witcher. We're always eager to learn. You deserve a prize.
I don't need a reward.
It's no reward, just a sign of gratitude. We drag our asses round the world and collect all sorts of scrap metal. Take something. May it serve you well. See you soon.
Not so fast, Witcher. You'll take me on now. You snitch.
So be it.
What the bloody hell's all this about?
We're just practicing.
Want practice? I'll have you cleaning the canteen with your bare arses. How's that for practice? Back to the camp!
Aye, sir. That doesn't end this. Stop looking for square coins. you've little to gain, and you just might lose your head over it.
So long.
Serfs knew beforehand and fled into the woods, but the rest were pressed into service.
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt. For Deathmold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
Foltest's assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
Well, I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Edirn.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch, and there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kedwen's just fighting for a better life. Edirn's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Edirn? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible, but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Deathmold can't learn that you're holding a Kedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry none.
Deathmold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, but waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kedweni garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam. Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
The Count says these are pansies, not soldiers.
Greetings, Geralt, in these humble foreign walls.
Greetings.
My heart rejoiced to see that dear old noggin of yours emerge from a sea of unknown faces.
I see you prefer the company of Vernon and his men.
The soldier in Henselt's camp looks at me like I'm a lump of rotten meat.
You think they suspect you of being a spy?
Who the fuck knows what's in their bloody heads? You know what? I regret I'm not a spy. I feel like the last bloody cunt here. Somewhere nearby, my brethren are sharpening their axes, just waiting for the fog to dissipate so they can blunt them on some Kedweni necks.
You've been around. Heard anything about the Kingslayer?
Just that Henselt is shitting himself for fear that his head is about to be separated from his shoulders. For me, the assassin's hiding out in the ravines, an ideal place for his kind. Anyway, I've been wondering, why the fuck do you care so much about this cunt that you're so ready to stick your neck out to find him?
Because I'm innocent.
The wise know that, and I didn't think you'd trouble yourself about what the fools think.
As long as Letho is free, I'll remain a suspect. I can only prove my innocence by presenting the culprit. No other way.
What will you do when you find him?
We'll see when I talk to him, when I learn the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, and maybe I'll just cut off his head. All rested after the boat trip?
Don't remind me of that. My stomach churns at the very thought.
You could have traveled here on foot.
If I'd known it before days of rocking, I would have. And if they told me I'd be eating dried and salted cod 3 times a day, I'd have clobbered myself with my own hammer before boarding that boat.
You're spending all your time in Roach's camp. Have you two become chums?
Chums? That's a bit rich. But he doesn't piss me off as much as he used to. Either he's changed or I've grown accustomed.
Maybe both.
Maybe. Besides, the camp has loads of other attractions. His men cheat me at cards, and there's a tit or two to hang the gaze upon.
If that's what you're after, there's a regular whorehouse in Henselt's camp.
How can you compare a whore's tits to Vessi's? I could buy myself the others, but hers are just to be admired.
Oi, what you doing here?
Get out of the way. I need to inspect this area.
Be careful. They say stepping in the ashes brings bad luck.
Get us out of here, will ya?
You came here on your own. You can get back on your own.
This place is crawling with drowners. I mean, we'd have stayed in our tents on our arses if we'd known. We're safe in the circle, but 3 feet outside, and who knows what would happen.
All right, we'll go back together, but let me look around first. Apparently, it's bad luck to tread on the ashes. Nothing. Again. Who cares enough to bring all these things here? Strange aura. Let's take a closer look. Carved from a solid piece of stone. Reusable, you could say. Candles, amulets, coins. People make offerings here like they would at a shrine. Candles. The stench is worse than Zoltan's boots. Nothing unusual about them otherwise. Square coins adorned with a fish. I guess the plotters like to come here. Let's see. An unnatural stillness typical of intersections and places where streams of the power meet. Unnerving but harmless. People seem to be staying away from the wheel. They're afraid. All the gifts are at a safe distance from it. Except for one person. With Kaedweni Army-issue boots. Glad to know I'm not the only one to desecrate this site. Animal tracks. Dogs, wolves, bears, even birds. You'd think this was a feeding ground, but they all fear the circle. Except for cats. Their tracks are everywhere. One even napped on the pedestal. Triss once told me cats like to sleep on intersections, and they're the only beasts apart from dragons who can draw the power. They clearly like this place. Sabrina was nailed to this wheel. Something protected the wheel from the flames. It's hardly scorched. Fresh holes and splinters. Someone's pulled nails from the wheel recently. I better take one, just in case. I need to bring the king here. I need to reenact the execution. If I can only summon Sabrina's ghost, I could force her to lift the curse. The Draugrs and the mist will remain, but at least the king will be safe. I need to know what happened here. Witnesses of the execution, they're the key. If I can just find out how Sabrina died, I should be able to free Henselt of the curse. 2 leads. Sabrina's cultists and the nail thief who's obviously immune to the aura of this place. Time to question some soldiers.
You've looked and touched your fill, right? Let's get out of here.
Did you light those candles?
We did.
What's it to you?
From what I've seen, it's not safe here.
The beasts are too scared to come near the circle.
Maybe, but you gotta leave the circle to return to camp.
Help us get back!
If you all know this area is infested with monsters, why the hell did you come here?
On a kind of pilgrimage to visit the circle.
Feel their eyes on you. They're watching us. We won't get out alive, superstitious idiots that we are.
Don't you believe the visionary? You don't have to. But it was worth a try, right?
Old idiot. It's his fault we ended up here.
Who is this visionary?
He's behind all this. He talks of miracles in the circle.
I believe him. Know why? He lives deep in the valleys, but something protects him from all those harpies.
Did you see them burn the sorceress?
3 years ago. We both served under Henselt then, but only the 5th Company guarded the stake.
They say the king never wanted to make a spectacle. Some soldiers never come here, but others visit the circle to check the remains.
You're just like them. To you, it's only a superstition to make money from. You're looking for old nails in the ashes.
Like that shitbag who trades outside the inn.
You're mistaking me for someone else.
Really? Didn't give us the nails.
I'm keeping it.
Keeping it? Not heard what they say. Relics are like fist tech for simple folk.
How did you manage to avoid the drowners on your way here?
The visionary was with us. He led us through, then left.
I don't like this place.
Thought you'd want to stay the night here.
I know at least a few places I'd rather sleep. Come on.
Beats me why they've been fighting over these hellholes for generations.
I get goosebumps every time I go outside the palisade.
Guess Civic was right. We should have sat on our arses.
You'll be whistling a different tune when the mist lifts and we attack Bergen.
Drowner lairs, not the best spots for picnics.
Curses on him! If it wasn't for you, they'd have eaten us.
We owe you our lives, Witcher. We can't let Zivik catch us.
Don't shit your pants. Sabrina saved us from the monsters. So what's one little Zivik to her?